Okay, so I didn't do a video last week, so I thought I'd do one this week just to show you what I've been doing. I did put some pictures on the Project Stormtrooper Facebook page midweek I think it was, but I've been doing loads of sanding and filling and bits and bobs that are a little bit boring, but now it's all together. I thought I'd show you some of what I've been doing. So I'll do sort of top to bottom. So I started on the roof. I've done probably 85% of that now. Just needs the last piece in the centre there, and that bit of section here. Just added a little bit of filler on there, but it needs a lot of flattening on there. But it's probably 85% done, as I say. Just hard to get the sander in there to get sorted, but I'll do that and finish that off. All this top section is now done, basically, apart from that very last back piece. And this has all been nicely curved and filled in now along there. I've done a lot of work on this, on the lines of this, basically, on the dash. So before, all of this, ignore helicopter, all of this was basically a little bit too, it stuck out too far, so I've basically had to flat all this back to get the right sort of distance between everything, so that all nicely curves in there. So I've been doing all that, and then that is looking quite tasty now in there. Obviously these things aren't quite fitted fully yet, but they're not far off. But yeah, all this is nice and tidy. All the lines are looking nice and straight now. Done quite a lot of work on that. I've had to rebuild sections of this, sections of this. I had to do all that as well. All this piece here, that's a nice new fresh skim. This piece here, that's had a nice brand new piece there. This used to have like a bit of a section where it jutted in there and sort of came out, but now it's all nice and curved, the right sort of shapes and everything. Just needs a little bit of finishing off underneath here. But the general gist is all the lines and everything else are pretty much there now. Everything's sitting as it should do. On this trim as well, I noticed that this piece has to go in first, this piece goes in second, but when this goes in, or when it used to go in before, you couldn't get it past this section, so I've had to make a new sort of curved section that kind of brings it out rather than being inside the hole. It just makes it a lot easier for fitting it, saves you breaking things and damaging leather when it's finally leathered. It's all good. I've still got two of the tablets back in, the other two are going back in fairly soon. Just got to make some new panels for the back of this to get them onto, but they're done. The port, so there's a lot of filling in the port. The whole thing has been filled. This is now being sanded back. You can see where all the guide coat is, where I've got to. So that's basically going to be filled, smoothed. It's all up to the right edges and things like it should be. No air leaks, that sort of thing. So it's looking pretty good. And obviously this will still be removable, this trim, so I can fit the subs and stuff. I've done some flattening down here. There's some more to do on here. It's still got some high and low spots here, quite bad ones. But as I've loads of flattening inside there. All this section's been flatted. Made a new filler skim on there and flatted that. All this corner, this was all rough and terrible. It's not been now done properly. All the lines flow pretty well. This floor, you see I've done quite a lot here. This floor has now been filled, so this section here at the top is now got a curve down here rather than like a step. There's a curve in there. That's obviously going to be finished off. I've got to try and get the sander in there and do that. I've got to sort of move the pedals out of the way a little bit. You can see how that's come along, and that's going to be nice and smooth. Obviously it's going to be carpeted anyway, but it's got to be smooth really, so I'll crack on with that. That's not too bad. You'll notice, I'll just come back here, you'll notice 3 of the speakers are in. More difficult than you think actually, this one, because I've had to make sure everything's flat, make sure these all sit flush, which they do now. You can see on there, there's no gaps, there's no air leaks, nothing like that. But all them are basically in there, so I've had to flat that back. It's quite in depth doing that. Took a bit of work. The 4th one isn't in yet because that's the tricky one I've got to try and get to. But you can see the 3 obviously are in there. That's all looking good. And I think that's probably it. I think that's all I've done for this week. Well, I say all I've done, I've probably done about 16, 17 hours work. But yeah, that's basically looking quite decent. There's a section here as well, which is the gap here around the back was too small compared to what it is over there. So that's been built up a little bit with a bit of filler. That's now going to be fiberglass. So it's going to come up to probably around about here and come down here like a curve. Then both sides will be the same. It'll be nice and strong. Gives us a nice base for finishing that section off. I've also got, I haven't got it with me, but I've finished the driver's seat. That's completely done now. The passenger seat just needs the last top coat piece done on there, and a little bit of filler work, but that's nearly done as well, so that'll be good to get the 2 seats finished. So I'm quite happy about that. And then basically we're looking pretty good. So I did say originally I was going to try and finish this by the end of March. Looks like it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's actually coming on really, really well now, and I'm getting more hours done on it anyway, so that's good. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you think, and subscribe if you can, and yeah, go from there. I'll do another video next week, hopefully, all being well.